Welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. We have the 2020 feature, sports with Brian Camp, and entertainment news with DJ Pete. So settle in with coffee in hand, and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, here we are on TGIF. It's Friday, and thank God it's the end of the weekend. We're getting set for the weekend and get things going right here. Hi, everybody. Welcome aboard once again. It's another Friday here. We're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we're based. And the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and I am going to be with you for the next hour. As usual, every Friday at this time, we get together with all of you and some new friends who will come along. And we get together and have conversation, coffee, and talk about all kinds of things. By the way, you can get involved in the conversation too. All you have to do is type in whatever you have to say, whether it's good morning, good night, good evening, or whatever your time zone is. I'll see you right there on the big screen and I will entertain you. I'm so glad to have you all aboard with us today. We've got a lot of things to do, and we're going to just stretch this whole show and get everything in. We're going to cram it in. Whatever we have to do, we'll have to cram it in. And we're going to do that starting later on in the program. We have our 2020 feature, and our 2020 feature contains 20 past the hour with Brian Camp, the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He will be here for that. You'll get to see him. We'll link up with him coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Also, we're going to link up with DJ Pete 20 to the hour, going to Portland, Maine, and he's going to give us some information that's entertainment news and a variety of other things, and beside all of those birthdays of people of notoriety who are celebrating this week. And if you're celebrating whatever you're celebrating, we say happy celebration to you. We're so glad to have you aboard for us on this Friday, TGIF. And those of you who may want to chime in, we ask you to give us your weather forecast. We've got weather forecast coming up. I will give the weather forecast for New York City. For those of you who live in the New York City area, don't worry about that. I will take care of that. But those of you who are from out of town, out of another country, or wherever you're from outside of New York, and you're watching this show, you can be part of us. And we always ask you for your weather forecast. It's not mandatory, but it's something that we like to convey to other people. And of course, let us know where you're from. We'd like to know that too. That's very important to us. We're coming to you from three different sources. We're coming to you from Facebook, live on Facebook, live on Instagram. We're live here. And of course, we're also on YouTube as well. Those of you who are watching us on Facebook right now, you get the opportunity to invite your friends to come in. All you have to do is tag this show to them. Just tag it. And they'll see it. If they're online, they'll see it, and they'll click on, and they'll come right in. They'll know it's you that tagged them, and so they'll come right in and they'll meet you, and you can talk to them and talk to others, talk to me, and we'll have a whole lot of fun. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, we invite you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us, because when you subscribe to us, this way you'll get the opportunity to know that whenever we come on live or whenever we post something, a new video of some sort, you'll get to see that notification that will pop up, providing you're online, and you can go directly to it. And that's about it. And just as simple as that. And so with that in mind, let's get the show started. What would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. Obviously, it's iced coffee, right? See that frost on there? That's delicious. Cools off the palate too. Well, here we are. And again, thank you all. I see some people are coming in right now. Some people are watching us on Instagram. People coming in and they're sitting idle. That's okay. But good morning to you. If you don't want to say live, good morning. So good morning to you anyway. Also, the people on Facebook, they come in, they sit idle. And you can do that. Now, for those of you who are on the day shift, you're bright and early in the morning. See, it's after 10 o'clock here. And so if you let's say, for instance, if you're watching us Eastern, okay, so you're sharing the same time zone I'm sharing. So this way you may be at work right now, on your way to work, but if you're at work right now, you're at the desk, around this time, maybe you should get that 15-minute coffee break. Well, let me suggest something to you. Take that 15-minute coffee break, right? And stay at your desk. You don't have to roam around, you have to do that all the time. Stay at your desk, watch the show for 15 minutes. And then when your coffee break is over, you can still go back to work, but you'll still be at your desk at your computer and you can watch the show at the same time, which is known as multitasking. So that would be great. And whatever time you could spend with us, we hope that, we hope it's the whole time for the whole hour. But if you can't spend a whole hour with us, we really appreciate whatever time you could spend with us. That's really appreciative. So there you go. Okay, so I mentioned it last night. Last week, I reported to you that Jill Biden, Joe Biden's wife, our first lady, received a report from, I guess, a positive report. She was tested positive for COVID-19, right? So thinking everything was okay. So here we are the second week, and we report to you that she received a second positive reaction to the test. So Jill Biden tested positive once again for the second time for COVID-19 after testing negative on Tuesday. She tested negative on Tuesday, but then when she took the test on Wednesday, which was the following day, she tested positive. So, that's like a rebound. They call it like a rebound kind of thing. And it happens to some people. Not often, but it happens. And the first lady is tested positive for the second time on Wednesday. But she's going to be taken well care of, and we hope that she comes out of this pretty soon. Or, it's one thing to catch it one time and then have a relapse, within the same week or maybe the beginning of the following week, But we're keeping our fingers crossed for her that she'll be okay. I think she's still, I hate to use the word quarantine because they don't use that anymore. They don't, as far as the pandemic goes, it's not a quarantine anymore. So I guess you could say, what's the word I want to use instead of quarantine? I don't know. Kicking back, relaxing, taking it easy, something like that. And just making sure that when you're positive, that you stay out of sight and out of mind for a few days until you are tested negative again. And when that happens, I guess you can go back into circulation, but you want to stay out of circulation if you are tested positive. That's why it's always great to keep up with your vaccinations. Now, you already know there are 3 on the market right now that everybody's using, whatever your choice is. It could be Pfizer, it could be Moderna, and it could be J&J, whatever it is. We just hope that you're fully vaccinated. Now, if you're fully vaccinated, that means if you're taking Pfizer or Moderna, that's 2 shots. For J&J, that's 1 shot. But then there's the booster shot that you should be able to get. And so at this particular point, what I'm trying to say at this particular point, that you should have been boosted twice, So that's what I mean by keeping up to date with your vaccines, boosted twice at this particular point. Now in September, which is right around the corner, as a matter of fact, next Thursday, which will be our first day of September, hopefully this new vaccine that's going to take care of the present variant, which is called BA.5, which is kind of a strong variant, but it's spiked up. And I guess that's kind of like calming down a bit, but they're creating one. Pfizer's creating one. I don't know about Moderna, but they're creating one to take care of that. So in other words, you should be boosted 3 times come that time when it's available to you, whenever it's available to you. But consult with your doctor first, find out what he says, and do that. And while you're at your doctor's, see, maybe he could give you the flu shot. This flu season is coming up too, so we got a lot of things to contend with in that area. You got the flu, you have COVID, so you want to make sure that you're up to date with your shots for COVID. And then when the availability of the flu shots come around, you want to make sure you take that. And as the weather gets a little colder, we get a little more spiked, as far as COVID is concerned. We don't know how long we'll have to live with this, and I hope it's not for too long, and that we can get over this and really get back to normal. And when I say get back to normal, I mean really get back to normal without wearing any mask at all, and just getting together, not worrying about going indoors and wearing your mask and then, carrying your mask all around. This is something new for all of us. This is kind of a new thing. No one's used to doing that. The only time I've seen people wear masks before the pandemic was construction people, or doctors, in the operating rooms, they wore a mask. And some people, of course, ordinary people just walking the street, I've seen people wear masks. So let's say the late Michael Jackson used to wear a mask before this pandemic. Long before this pandemic, he did that. The cause was, I don't know why, what it was. Different people have different reasons, because the environment, as you already know, we share the same air, the same water, the same everything, and some people are at their level where they say, I think this is, I just prefer to wear a mask whenever I walk the streets or whatever it is, but it wasn't normal back then, and people were laughing about it, but it's no longer funny. It never really was funny. Now everyone's wearing, it's like our new norm, it's the new norm. So anyway, just keep up with all of that. That's the most important thing. Keep up with all of that. Okay, let me give you our weather forecast. I'm going to stay in touch with that. I want to stay on top of that, because those of you who are going to come in and say hi to us, and yeah, Brian mentioned shingle shots. Shingle shots, that's another thing. Shingle shots too. There are all kinds of shots on the market. If you're 50 and older, you want to, get those, all of those shots. I'll get back into that more, but right now, I am going to do the weather, for New York City. Those of you who are coming in and want to say hi to us, wherever city you're from, outside of New York, give us your weather forecast just as well. We really would appreciate that. That's something that we could look forward to. So I am now going to give you my weather forecast here in New York City, because this is where we are. And it doesn't look bad at the moment, because right now, as I look, we have 80 degrees. It's only after 10 o'clock, and we have 80 degrees. And the weather doesn't look that bad at all. Let me tell you what we got right now. 80 degrees outside. It's going to be partly cloudy, partly to mostly cloudy, with scattered showers and thunderstorms developing this afternoon. And storms may contain strong gusty winds. We'll have a high around 87 degrees. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 50%. Tonight will be clear to partly cloudy skies. Stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. We have a low 72 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. For Saturdays to really kick in on the weekend, we've got mostly sunny skies, high around 85 degrees, mostly sunny Saturday. So that's what you're looking forward to Saturday, right? So we got mostly sunny skies on Saturday, high around 85 degrees. Winds will be light and variable as well. For Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds will be light and variable. And as we wrap up our weekend and get back to the grind on Monday, we wrap up with sunshine and clouds. They'll be mixed together on Sunday, and a stray shower or a thunderstorm is possible. So we'll have a high around 83 degrees. Winds will be east, southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Repeating that current temperature, we have 80 degrees outdoors, and it's going to be warm outside. So, you can wear your sleeves. This weather is going to be around for a while, this kind of weather. So savor the moment, savor the summer, because it's almost over. So the weather looks pretty good here in New York, except for a few spritz here and there, like today or at the end of the weekend. But otherwise, smooth sailing. Don't change your plans for anything. Do everything that you have to do. Okay, and so don't forget to give us your weather forecast when you come in and say hi. We really would appreciate that. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And it's now coming up. It's 14, coming up to 15 minutes past the hour, and just about 5.5 minutes from now, we'll have Brian Camp coming in with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. You'll get the chance to meet him because he's going to be here doing sports, and of course, we will be looking forward to that. And as I said, 2:20 to the hour, DJ Pete will be along as well, and DJ Pete will give you all of the information, entertainment information, and of course, reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety who comes in. So they're all here. They're all here. They'll be here, and we look forward to seeing all of that. I just want to say a good morning. I mentioned this last night on the show on Talkback Live. I want to say a good morning, and hopefully he's watching. Calls himself Senior Cigar. His name is Kevin Briscoe. I've known him for years. We met together at a radio station where I worked. He was there when I got there. When I left there, he was still there, and he's still there today. So Kevin right now is in the hospital. Hopefully he'll be out. We have to find out. He told me last night that to get in touch with him, he'll know more today. So we'll find out later on. So if he's watching, I hope he's feeling better. Last night he said he was feeling great, so that's good news. So it's all a matter of when he gets out, and he'll get out, when that time is right. But I will not go into detail on why he's in the hospital. But the main thing is that he's feeling great. That's the main thing. So Senior Cigar, and he still does his shows live. He keeps us up to date. He keeps everybody up to date on his progress. And so that's for him to do that, and if he wants to go into detail on what's happening, he would do that. That's up to him. So, but all I'm telling you is that he's a friend of mine, and I just want to acknowledge the fact that he's in the hospital and he's doing well. A Senior Cigar, you've probably seen him. Those of you probably seen him. He has a show on Facebook. He, like the rest of us do, he has a show on Facebook and comes on every now and then. And when he does his show, he makes a cigar sound so delicious. He has a cigar in one hand and a little drink or whatever it is in the other, and he's just smoking it, and it just makes me want to go back to smoking stogies. I did that for when I was younger. I used to smoke cigars and cigarettes and pipes and all of that stuff, but he makes a stogie sound delicious, appetizing. I know, and not in terms of eating it, but smoking it, and the way he does it. You gotta watch his show sometime. It's called Senior Cigar. He's a Senior Cigar, and I remember, I don't know if he still does this, and I'm probably sure he doesn't, because with everything that's going down with the pandemic and everything, people are doing less traveling than they did before. But I remember pre-pandemic, he used to trip off to Vegas. Now, I don't know why I never ran into him, because sometimes we were in Vegas at the same time, but he was at his convention and I was out doing other things in Vegas. But he used to go to the conventions out there. It was called the cigar conventions. And in conjunction with going to the conventions and having a good time, having your personal good time too as well. So Senior Cigar, Kevin Briscoe, we wish you luck, and hopefully we're well, and I'll get in touch with you a little later on today. So that's how things are going right now. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a little frosty here, so I want to drink it while it's cold. Excuse me while I shoot up. Oh, I just feel like just chugging it. But, I like to savor the moment. You know how when you have a cold drink like that, it tastes so good, you just want to chug it. And I used to do that. And I said, what's the sense in it? Savor the moment, take your time, take it easy. If you want another one, you can get another one, but take it easy. Take it easy, guys. Take it easy. Okay, so here we are once again. And we just wanted to remind you also, which I didn't mention, that I told you about sports and entertainment news, all of that's coming up. I also didn't mention that later on in the show, towards the end of the show, I will be giving you guys the information about those Turner Classic Movies, my picks of the week for this weekend. For those of you who want to catch up on movies, I just want to add a couple of those movies to your bucket list to entertain you. You know, I just want to add some of those movies there. And so I have a few of them this week, and I think you're going to like them. They're all classic movies coming from Turner Classic Movies, and they're all coming your way. And that's going to happen later on in the show. So you stand by for that. Stand by for that, because that's all coming up. But right now, it's time for us to shift a little bit, because right now I want to go to Charlotte, North Carolina. You know why? Because it's time for sports and sports update. Brian Camp, the latest developments in today's world of sports. Did you see, not that you really have an interest in it, but the Yankees kicked tail last night, 13-4, final game, final score.
And not one home run. Not one home run in that game.
Not one.
Unbelievable.
Not one.
You know, they're back on the right track. That's 4 in a row, while the Mets are heading in a different direction. But I think the Mets did win, but Mets lead in the National League East is down to 2 games. So they better get their act together. They want to keep their, you know, the Yankees are keeping their hand in the bargain about a Subway Series. But I really don't care who wins as long as the Dodgers doesn't win. Well,
you know, the Yankees won the Subway Series this past couple of days ago when because they had the first one at Citi Field, first 2 games, and they swept the Yankees then, and the Yankees swept them this time around. So I'm kind of happy about that.
Exactly. Good morning to you and to everybody out there. Good morning to Pete. Good morning to Aretha, my cousin, and to everybody that's listening worldwide, nationwide, worldwide. I'm going to get to the sports. It is right now 76 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going up to 91, so it's going to be a hot one today. And you know, summer's not over yet over here. Then again, you know, we get warm weather year round here, except for a 6-week stretch where we get cold weather here in North Carolina, but that's it. So that's where we stand. Basketball news in the NBA, Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa, was awarded $16 million as part of a $31 million jury verdict against the Los Angeles County for deputies and firefighters sharing gruesome, grisly photos of the NBA star, their 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and other victims killed in the 2020 helicopter crash. The 9 jurors unanimously agreed with Vanessa and her attorneys that the photos invaded her privacy and caused emotional distress. That can't happen. You don't want to share somebody's photos of your spouse, put it on the internet and just sharing it with others. No, you're not going to do that. And she won, and I'm happy for her. Miami Heat forward Udonis Haslem is coming back for a 20th season. 42-year-old made the announcement last week at his basketball camp in Miami. So he's going to probably be his last swan song, 20 years in the NBA with one team that ties with Kobe Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki, as only players to spend their entire career with one team and do it for 20 years. So congratulations to him. Sad news in football, Len Dawson, Hall of Famer quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs and superstar MVP for Super Bowl IV, has passed away a couple of days ago. They had a tribute to him on last night's game between the Chiefs and the Packers. In fact, I'm sorry, Super Bowl I, where he first played, and then he played again in Super Bowl IV, where he won the MVP. So our thoughts and prayers to the Dawson family. Major League Baseball, Seattle Mariners right-hander George Kirby pulled off a rare feat by throwing 24 straight strikes to start a game to Joey Meneses in the 3rd inning. Kirby's first pitch was a ball in the 3rd inning that that just broke the streak, and that set a record. He broke the old record by since 1988 to begin his appearance by throwing topping 21 consecutive strikes thrown by Joe Musgrove for Pittsburgh against St. Louis in 2018. That was only 4 years ago. Tennis legend, great. Althea Gibson gets a unique honor in New York City and Harlem. In January 2019, Glenn Gilliam filed an application to have a street in Harlem's names after Althea Gibson. Now, the big challenge was to follow convincing 6% of the residents and 60% of the businesses owners to sign his petition to move the process forward. Yesterday at 143rd Street between Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard and Malcolm X Boulevard in New York City will be codenamed Althea Gibson Way. The unveiling comes on what would have been Gibson's 95th birthday, which will be in a couple of days. I believe it's on the 29th of this month of August, and the days before the U.S. Open, where she broke the color barrier in 1950. So congratulations to Althea Gibson, who passed away not too long ago, but congratulations to her family as well. This day in sports, August 26th, Chicago Cubs Hank Wilson hits his 44th home run, breaks Chuck Klein's National League record at that time. 1939, the first Major League Baseball telecast on WTXBS Cincinnati, Reds defeated the Brooklyn Dodgers at Ebbets Field. Wow, that was a historic time. That was a telecast. So 1939, 1947, Dodgers, Dan Bankhead, Major League Baseball first African-American pitcher to homer in his first Major League plate appearance. So what's so significant about that, he was a pitcher and he hit a home run in 1947, the same year that Jackie Robinson broke through the color barrier in baseball. 1971, Major League Baseball, Baltimore Orioles' Don Buford struck out 5 times in a game. You talk about having a bad day, that's a bad day for a baseball player. 2016, 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick kneels in protest during the U.S. national anthem at San Diego Qualcomm Stadium. 2020, Milwaukee Bucks forfeit their NBA playoff game after the shooting of Jacob Blake, leading to the NBA postponing more games. Birthdays this day. 1937, Tommy Heinsohn, NBA player, coach, and broadcaster, was born in Jersey City, New Jersey. 1979, Jamal Lewis, NFL running back, born in Atlanta, Georgia. And in 1985, David Price, Major League Baseball pitcher and a 2012 Cy Young winner, born in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I don't know where that's at, but it's in Tennessee. 1989, James Harden, NBA guard, born in Los Angeles, California. Ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
Oh, and speaking of sports, since we're on sports here with you, this is a good related piece of news that I want to remind people. Labor Day is coming up, right? That will be the 5th. So that will be a week from Monday. And that will be the day also that the Jackie Robinson Museum will open up here where we are in New York City. So for a lot of people who live in the New York City area, or if you're visiting, you want to do that, because what are you going to do on the holiday, right? It's a holiday. You can do whatever you want, right? And that would be a good time to do it. So that's when they're going to open up that to the public for the first time, the Jackie Robinson Museum. And so I just figured I'd throw that out there as well.
You know, I'm supposed to make I'm scheduled to make a trip to New York on Veterans Day weekend. So I would like to make reservations. I'm going to have to call up to see if I can get a reservation for that date. I don't know if you have to have reservation, or is it just open and you just come in, or what?
No, I'm going to find that out today. I'm going to call the Jackie Robinson Foundation today. That's a good point. But most museums, because I have a feeling that the opening day, which is the 5th, opening day is going to be crowded. And they could take so many people in there. You know, but that's a good point. That's a good
Well, because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, you know, you might have to have a reservation appointment.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm coming in, you know, I don't get to New York too often, but I'm going to wear my Jackie Robinson jersey and hat. But underneath the Jackie Robinson jersey, I'm going to wear my San Francisco Giant t-shirt. Let you know that I'm a San Francisco Giant fan, but I do honor and respect the late, great Jackie Robinson, who broke many barriers, not only in sports, but outside of sports as well.
Yeah, that's true. True. I mentioned that many times. But that should be a good event. That's a good point, a good question that you asked, whether it's reservations, because most museums, you don't have to have a reservation. It's just as long as you come in and just pay your admission. But the good point is, like, this is pandemic. So yeah, that was a good point.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make some calls, you know, I'll make some calls probably today to see what will be the criteria to come in to witness this great historical moment.
Yeah, you know, I remember they had a ceremony there, but it wasn't for the public. At when they opened it up, when they opened up the museum, the ceremony there, Rachel Robinson was there with the other few other keynote speaker. You know, they were there. But you know, it's gonna be crowded. There's no doubt about it. It's gonna be crowded. So yeah, it's gonna be crowded. So I mean, make your plans and just follow through with them. That's it. That's gonna be a good thing. Well, so what's your plans for the weekend?
This weekend, I'm gonna I'm gonna do a little small barbecue with hot dogs and pizza for kids in the community, because they go back to school on Monday. So this is their way of this is my way of showing them, okay, we had a nice summer and it's trying to get back into the school groove, and you know, get them back, just to let them know that we still love them. So I'm going to invite a lot of kids. I'm going to cook over 100 hot dogs on the grill. No smoker this weekend.
No smoker.
Grill.
No smoker. Okay, kids should enjoy that, especially with the hot dogs and things like that. Even at my age, I love hot dogs. I still love hot dogs. Mm-hmm. I just don't like anyone telling me what's in it. I don't care what's in it. Don't tell me about it. I love it. Okay, so listen, you have yourself a great weekend. We'll catch you back here next week.
Everybody stay safe, Pete and Cousin and everybody else that's out there. Have a safe weekend, and don't forget, be very careful. We're still in the middle of a pandemic.
Wear that mask. Okay, thanks a lot, Brian. All right, that was Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's here every Friday. Well, actually, yeah, every Friday at this time. And as part of the 2020 feature, as he just closed out 20 past the hour, he's always here. And we have another part of the 2020 feature coming up, 20 to the hour. DJ Pete is going to be here because now he's going to come along, and we're going to link up with him in Portland, Maine. And he's going to give us entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety who are celebrating this week. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of them, you know. So we got all of the goods here coming for you. And speaking of DJ Pete, he came in and he left me. I say good morning to DJ Pete. We'll see you in a few. He has his weather forecast, so I just want to, you know, get that going right now. For Portland, Maine, he has a high of 75 degrees. Overnight lows of 64. I would imagine that's for tonight. And we're going to have a severe weather risk today. Okay, and wind and what is that? I'm trying to find. It look like two words mushed together. Okay, I can't make that one out. But anyway, severe weather, thunderstorms possible after 3 p.m. today. And it's going to be heavy rain. And humidity is going to be 79% humidity. And winds out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. UV index, that's very important, 4 of 10. And that's his weather forecast in Portland, Maine. Now, for those of you who are coming in and you're in another city, another country coming in, I already completed our New York forecast for you. Give us yours. That's what we like to hear. We like to convey that to everyone. So we'll see DJ Pete in just a few minutes. But yeah, going back to that, the plans, if you're in New York or you're visiting New York, that's a good point. You know, make sure that you get in touch with the Jackie Robinson Foundation to find out whether you can just walk in there or make a reservation. But that is a good point. That is a good point, because I have never in my life heard of a museum where you have to have reservations to get in. Like if you're going to order a meal or something, right? But being that this is the pandemic, we're in pandemic mode, things are changed a little bit. So yeah, that's important. And I'm going to call the Jackie Robinson Foundation right after I get off the air and find out more about that, because I would love to at some point go to that museum and check it out. And I had planned to do that the first day it opens, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I won't be able to get in. Who knows? But at some point I will, you know. Anyway, so listen, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And I am Frank Allan, and I will be here with you for the balance of the show. We still have more to come. I already told you just a few minutes from now, DJ P will be here with entertainment news. And also, later on before the show is over, we're going to give you my picks of the week of the movies that I think you might like. They're classic movies. I took them directly from Turner Classic Movies. They're my picks of the week, just in case you want to catch up on some movies. I want to add that to your bucket list too as well, so you could have a chance to check it out. So we'll see more about that. Excuse me. Just having a little moment here. That's what they call that the coffee break. So that's my coffee break, and that wasn't 15 minutes. Now I don't get a 15-minute coffee break. I just take it when I can take it. Anyway, we've got more things coming along, and those of you who are, I want to say hello to you guys. Some people I just noticed that they just popped in on Facebook, so I just want to say hi and to you guys, and say hi to Oretha Jones, who's out there, family, and thank you for watching. And say hello to the big man. I hope he's doing fine. I called him. I called your husband the other day just to stay on top of his progress. So you know, he's doing fine. And for the rest of you, I hope that you're doing fine as well. And I just want to remind you also, just to, you know, I said it earlier at the top of the show, that stay on top of your vaccinations, because, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're dealing with a whole lot of things. And Brian also mentioned shingle shots. And for all of you people who or 50 years of age and over, you want to make sure you get all of the shots that's available to you, because none of us are spring chickens anymore. I used to have the attitude when I was a kid, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, you know, as a kid, healthy and strong and ready to go. I'm healthy and strong now, but you know, back then, you know, I'm not as fast and as quick as I was back then. But you know, my attitude was, I'm living forever. I'm invincible. I'm not going anywhere, and that's it. But when you get older, that tune changes, and you have more than one doctor, because back in those days, you know, when you were younger, you get one doctor and you move on, you know. So now you get older, you get doctors, you get cardiologists, you get urologists, and you get and for the women, gynecology, but that's always standard anyway. But you get all of these doctors, you know. And you want to make sure that you're healthy, and you want to see them as much as possible. You want to find out that your diet is okay. You want to stick with a nice diet. I often tell my doctor, he says, look, you know, try to eat right, eat the good foods. And I do that. I try to do that as well. But every once in a while, I want to eat things that I shouldn't eat. Like I was talking to Brian just earlier when I mentioned hot dogs. At my age, I still like hot dogs. You know, I don't do it that often, but every once in a while I get the fever and I do it. Sometimes I like to do it, And but then again, at the same time, I eat healthy food. And I told one of my doctors, my cardiologist, I went to pay him a visit the other day, and I said, unless you tell me that whatever I drink and whatever I eat is going to kill me, I'm going to do everything in moderation. So he said, that's good. Do it in moderation. Don't worry about it. Just do it in moderation. Just don't eat a lot of it all at one time. And I was nuts for ice cream. I was always nuts for ice cream. And my doctor at one time told me, lay off the ice cream for a while. And I told him, I said, why don't you just kill me? Just kill me. Just kill me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with you. And right now we're going to go over to Portland, Maine, because in Portland, Maine, a good friend of mine, glad to see him here live with us here in the studio. And when he pops up, we'll put him on for you. Portland, Maine, DJ Pete. And he has for you all of that information that you like, people in entertainment and all around the world. Waiting for him to pop up now so we can just present him to you. There he is, DJ Pete. How are you today? How you doing, my friend?
Good, Frank. How are you? How's everybody doing today?
Oh, most important thing is, I hope you're doing better.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a Friday in Portland, Maine, and your weather doesn't look too bad. I mean, you're getting that severe weather coming along. What does that mean? You're getting a lot of thunderstorms? Or?
Yeah, and severe wind and possible tornadoes too.
Okay.
So we can get them. We don't get them like Oklahoma or Texas gets them, but we can get them up in the Northeast here.
That doesn't sound too good. So in other words, your weekend is going to be at home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going anywhere right now. I'm working a lot this week and next week. So.
Yeah. So what do you have for us today?
Oh, we got a lot of great people this week in the music world. We're going to start with John Lee Hooker.
Oh, yeah.
Born August 22nd, 1912, American blues singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Some of his favorite tunes, you know them, I know them, everybody else should know them. Boom Boom and Boogie Chillin'.
Right.
If you saw the Blues Brothers movie, these tunes were in that movie with the Blues Brothers. Great tunes by Johnny Lee. Great, a lot of great music he produced over the years. A lot of his music influence was talking blues, which is basically just talking about whatever, and like in Boogie Chillin', and country blues also that he worked in his blues genre there. Really great sound by John Lee Hooker. Check him out. Carl Mann, August 22nd, 1942, American rockabilly singer, pianist from West Tennessee. The last son of Sun, he was known as, meaning he was one of the final artists that Sam Phillips at Sun Records introduced there. One of his famous tunes was he released through Sun Records a rockabilly version of Nat King Cole's Mona Lisa. Really great sound too for Carl Mann. So happy birthday to him. Dale Hawkins, August 22nd, 1936, pioneer American rock singer, songwriter, rhythm guitarist, often called the architect of swamp rock boogie. He had a really great career. 1958, recorded a single of Willie Dixon's "My Babe" at Chess Records Studio, which is a great sound. And what else did he do? Oh, a lot. He had a lot. He had a really great career of music here. Let's keep going with Winona Carr, Miss Winona Carr, August 23rd, 1923, American gospel, R&B, and rock and roll singer, songwriter. She was one of this jump blues sound of music in the 50s. She took her gospel and merged it into that and had a really great sound. Jump, Jump, Jump is one of her famous tunes there. Let's see. She was influenced by Rosetta Tharpe, incorporating blues and jazz among her recordings there. With a take on Roy Brown and Wynonie Harris's "Good Rockin' Tonight," she did a version of that too. Let's see. So Wynonie Harris, not to be confused with Winona Carr, they have a similar first name, was also born this week, August 24th, 1915. American blues shouter, and he was like one of the few great blues artists who would like literally shout the songs. There, rhythm and blues, jump blues, big influence to the 50s rock and roll sound. There, he had this like ongoing thing with Roy Brown with the song "Good Rockin' Tonight." It was like one guy would record it, and then the other guy would record something similar to it, maybe change the words around a little bit. They were doing that for a number of years, back and forth. One of my favorite tunes by Wynonie Harris is "Mr. Blues is Coming to Town," which is actually a lot of blues bands today still play that tune by Wynonie Harris. Jackie Brenston, August 24th, 1928, American singer, saxophonist, recorded with Ike Turner's band. He was a pioneer in the rock and roll sound with the tune "Rocket 88," and that song "Rocket 88" was taken by Bill Haley and the Saddlemen and recorded. And some people say that's one of the first rock and roll songs out there. So
did he do that with Ike Turner?
Yeah, he recorded with Ike Turner's band.
Right.
It says here. Born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Another great tune of his is "Leo the Louse." And I can just imagine, maybe he met some guy by the name of Leo who was, I don't know. But it's a really great jump blues sound by Jackie there. Let's see, who else do we have? We have Gene Simmons of the rock band Kiss, born August 25th, 1948. He's an Israeli-American singer, musician, and songwriter. If you know the rock band Kiss, I saw them here in Portland a number of years ago. They put on a great show. Kids, parents my age were bringing their 12-year-old kids, and the kids were dressed up in makeup, like Kiss does.
One of these days, Gene Simmons is going to step on his own tongue.
Yeah, probably will. Now here's another connection here. Let me see if I can find it. August 24th, 1940, I think. Dickie Harrell, who was one of Gene Vincent's Blue Caps. He's still alive today. Not recording anything, but I see him every once in a while on social media. He was one of Gene Vincent's Blue Caps. Be-Ba-Ba-Lula, Be-Ba-Ba-Lula, and all the great music by Gene Vincent back in the 1950s there. And finally, I have Lester Young, August 27th, 1909, nicknamed Prez, American jazz tenor saxophonist and occasional clarinetist. Started out with Count Basie's orchestra, played with him for a number of years, and then went on his own doing some other work. Great sound by Lester Young. And that's what I got today, Frank.
Yeah, Lester Young and Billie Holiday, they were close. They were buddies. A lot of people thought they had a fling going on, but it wasn't but they were like really close. She was the lady, Lady Day, and he was the Prez.
Yeah. They were, definitely.
Birthdays today on my end. Actor Macaulay Culkin, that cute little kid. who is no longer that cute little kid, is 42 years old today. Uh, actress Melissa McCarthy, you probably seen her on Mike and Marley.
Mhm.
You seen, if you don't watch Mike and Marley, you probably seen her in that commercial, that Chase commercial. The little she's a chubby girl with the cute dimples. Anyway, she's celebrating her birthday today. She's 52. Remember Ola Ray? She was the lady that played Michael Jackson's girlfriend on Thriller.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, you seen that video. She's
Yeah,
60,
yeah.
she's 62 today.
You know who directed that video was John Landis, who
John Landis, right?
directed the Blues Brothers and many other films.
He sure did. He
Yeah.
certainly did. Branford Marcellus, musician, jazz musician, 62 today. Bob Calsil from a group back in the 60s called the Calsils. He's 73 today. Valerie Simpson, the other half of Ashford and Simpson, the late Simpson, what's his name? Nick Ashford, the late Nick Ashford, her husband. Anyway, Valerie is celebrating her birthday today. She's 76 years old today. I was introduced to Valerie by her brother because her brother and I went to college together, and her brother now plays or sings with the Village People. Okay, we move right along. These people are no longer with us. American politician Geraldine Ferraro would have been 87 today. Yvette Vickers, you may not know her name, but she was one of those classic movies, the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
I love those films.
Yeah, if you know that movie, she was the one that played the floozy in that movie. She would have been 94 today. Jan Clayton, who played Ellen Miller on the original Lassie back in the 50s. She would have been 105. Virginia Hill. Now, Virginia Hill, she was a smoking lady. She was the girlfriend of Bugsy Siegel, the mobster Bugsy Siegel. She would have been 106 today. And Mother Teresa, I don't know anyone who doesn't know this lady. She would have been 112. And finally, the blues singer Jimmy Rushing would have been 121 years old. Boy, we've come a long way.
That's a lot of great music right there.
So when can we hear you on the air?
So you can find me on WMPG radio. I say most because sometimes I got to give up my radio shows and do actual work. But every other Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time Zone in the USA and Canada on WMPG.org. I am on radio airwaves online most Monday nights, 8 p.m. to 10 Eastern Time Zone, www.radio-airwaves.co.uk. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff, and find out where I'm playing next. And back to you, Frank.
Okay, listen, it's always great to see you. I'm glad you're feeling better. You're looking good. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
All you have to do is stick to a nice diet. Do what your mom used to tell you. Eat your veggies.
I do.
I my mom never really had a problem with me with vegetables. She really never had most kids, they don't like vegetables. They don't like the green vegetables. They don't like veggies, and your mom knows best. Eat your veggies. But my mom never really had a problem with me doing it because I used to like them anyway. And I used to eat them raw, not realizing they were better for you then.
So when I was young, when I was like 4, 5, 6 years old, my mom would give me a little bit of this, a little bit of broccoli, a little bit of asparagus, a little bit of that, the other, as a kid, and I would eat it, and I would love it too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a whole big plate of it, just a little bit here and there, and that was enough for me to say, "Hey, this is good stuff."
Yeah, and moms are always right.
Mm-hmm.
Back in those days when you were young coming up, she used to tell you, do this, do that, because this is good for you, this is not good for you. And you say, why? And then you realize later that she was right. Moms know best.
They certainly do.
Pete, I guess hopefully we'll see you back here next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Actually, I may be on vacation next week, but I'll let you know, Frank. And if I have time while I'm on vacation, I'll call in.
Oh, listen, listen, I'm a fair guy. You on vacation, you don't even have to be here. You don't even have to do this. Just let me know. Just let me know. That's all I ask. I'm a fair guy. I'm not gonna say, Pete, you're on vacation, tough. Tough to do it.
Okay.
No. But you let me know how you work it out. Are you gonna
Well,
go?
I think it's next week or the week after. I can't remember right now.
You're gonna go away? You're going away, right?
I'm just going to out of town for a few days
Oh, okay.
to
All
get
right.
away. Yeah, but yeah, things are going good. Live events are a big thing back in every major city out there. So, but be careful when you go out. You know, wear a mask if you still want to wear a mask. Uh, you know, go see some bands, some theater, some movies, whatever out there, and have a blast.
Absolutely. Pete, we'll catch you back here next week. If you're not, then of course we know what to do. We know how that works.
You know how to find me.
Take care of yourself.
All right, Frank. Good day to you, Brian, and everybody else watching. Have a good weekend.
Thanks a lot. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to immediately go to those movies that we told you about, those Turner Classic movies, because I have a few of them right now to add to your bucket list of the movies that you may want to enjoy. You want to catch up on movies, I have a few for you right now. Let's get started right now. Here's a nice classic for all of you. And Pete, I think you like this too. This is from 1939, Gone with the Wind, with Clark Gable, Vivian Leigh, and Olivia de Havilland. And that's coming on Turner Classic Movies. That's tonight. It's a long movie, so get ready for it. That's on TCM, Turner Classic Movies. That's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. You also have another Clark Gable movie that comes on called The Misfits, this one with Marilyn Monroe, and that's on Saturday, tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. So that's pretty early for Saturday, right? But it's there. And if you don't get a chance to watch these movies in real time, you can always DVR them and then later on watch them at a later time. Another Marilyn Monroe movie, How to Marry a Millionaire, 1953, Marilyn Monroe, Lauren Bacall, and Betty Grable. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday as well at 4 p.m. Eastern. You have The 7-Year Itch, another Marilyn Monroe movie from 1955. That's Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, so we'll move right ahead. Gentlemen prefer blondes, or maybe brunettes, or maybe redheads, or maybe blackheads, or whatever, I just prefer good, classy women. Anyway, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes from 1953, Marilyn Monroe. That's TCM. That's Saturday at 10 p.m. And we have Some Like It Hot, another Marilyn Monroe movie along with Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon. And that's Sunday at 12 a.m. That's Saturday night, Sunday morning, right? That's midnight at 12 a.m. Eastern. Another Marilyn Monroe movie called Bus Stop. And that's at Turner Classic Movies. That's on at 2:15 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. So if you are having insomnia or anything like that, you can stay up and watch it. Otherwise, like I said, DVR it, watch it at a later time. The Philadelphia Story from 1940, starring Cary Grant, James Stewart, and Katharine Hepburn. That's on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And finally, here's another one that I don't see very often. I like it when it comes around, called Houseboat from 1958, Cary Grant and Sophia Loren. And it's a great movie. And it's on Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So there you go. I hope that you enjoy these movies. They're all classic movies. Now, listen, you can always go on Turner Classic Movies and check out, other movies, because these are only my picks. You can check them out and find out there are others on there that you may like, and you want to check them and put them on your bucket list. That's right there. Also, you can go on Movie on Demand, check all of those things out. Movie on Demand. There's a lot of movies that date back from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, so forth and so on. And of course, pay-per-view and all of that. It's right there for you. So enjoy, all right? I love being with you guys all the time. And I hope you enjoyed the show as well. We're going to come back here on Thursday night for more. and that's on Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports. We'll be here, and you and I will chat a little bit and have a good time. Other than that, I will be back here next Friday morning as well for more of the coffee hour. We have our 2020 feature with Brian Camp, and he'll be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. At 22 the hour, it's DJ Pete, as you already seen him, and he'll be here with, of course, like today, entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. You guys have yourself a wonderful day, a marvelous weekend, and I will catch you all back here pretty soon. So take good care of yourself and don't spend all your money in the right place. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistance, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.